One of our favorite sponsors is back with us, Sunset Lake CBD.
Yeah.
If you're looking for CBD that actually does what CBD is supposed to do, look no further than our friends over at Sunset Lake.
Let me break it down.
Break it down, Mel.
They're sustainably farmed, meaning they avoid pesticides and use sustainable farming practices to preserve the land for future generations. 1. 2, farm to table. They ship the CBD products straight from their door in Vermont directly to your door wherever you're at.
Now that's cool.
And third party tested. They test everything with a third party to ensure quality, dosage, and safety.
You got to go over and check out sunsetlakecbd.com. They have so many products. Break it down for them, Apple.
Well, they've got some new stuff going on. Like they always had pre-rolls, but now they got really cool packaging for it. And you can get CBD pre-roll flights of all their flavors. You can get the heavy hitter flight that also throws in some of their Keef blunts. They have a new CBD recovery body lotion.
I'm excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the other?
The other one with arnica.
The extra strength muscle rub, 3,000 milligram with 5% lidocaine.
So look,
Oh, yeah,
if you're
lidocaine.
sore, this is the stuff you want to rub on your body to make those aches and pains go away. They even have CBD infused coffee, so you can have coffee without the little jitter that you get from caffeine, and you have it in the morning and you start your day off right. Your body feels lubricated. You're going to sleep good.
Yeah, and also they have, if you kind of forget to reorder, they've got subscriptions.
And they're giving the No Simple Road family 20% off.
20% off.
Put
with
in the promo code NSR20 when you're checking out at sunsetlakecbd.com. You're going to get 20% off your entire order.
NSR20.
And don't forget those cute little gummy bears.
That's right. sunsetlakecbd.com, one of our favorite sponsors, is back.
Have you ever listened to Tool?
Out of a jellyfish.
That you got from Electric Fish Lights.
Shit, Ryder has.
You know what, man? Ryder just got the dopest jellyfish light from Electric Fish Lights, man. This thing has 2 bulbs in it. One is color changing. The other is a Bluetooth reactive light.
Yeah.
And this thing makes his room like a disco.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't seen it mess around.
He's really enjoying it. You got to shout out.
He hasn't been out of his room all
to
day.
John, the East Coast Santa, for helping the West
Absolutely.
Coast Santa over here hook Ryder up for Christmas.
So if you don't know what the hell we're talking about, go over to @electricfishlights on Instagram or electricfishlights.com. These are IQ lights, which stands for interlocking quadrilateral, and that's a system made of 30 interlocking pieces, and those pieces can be configured into 15 different shapes, and basically they can build anything you can imagine, pretty much. I mean, they couldn't build you a spaceship that you could actually go to the moon with, but they could build you a light that is a spaceship that has a color changing bulb and music in it,
You could
and
par
you
like
could
it's
get super
1999.
high
And imagine
and
you're
imagine
going to
that you're on the
space in a
moon.
rocket ship.
They could make you a unicorn light. They could make you a squid light. They could make a light that looks like your favorite cartoon character or your favorite sports team. They got you covered, man. And all these lights are made from upcycled vinyl like milk jug plastic. They come with a 12-foot cord, a 12-year energy-efficient, safe-to-leave-on LED bulb, and a hardware kit to hang the light. These things are great for your man cave or your woman cave or your fan cave or your kid's night light or a Christmas tree topper or just to hang outside because they are safe to be used outdoors. And they are hooking up the No Simple Road family with 10% off. So put in the promo code NSR when you check out and you're going to get 10% off your purchase. And any No Simple Road family member that gets the color changing upgrade when they order their light, they are going to get a special limited edition No Simple Road print poster with magical art. And when you hook it up next to the color changing light, it'll splatter joy and love all over your walls. So go check out electricfishlights.com or @electricfishlights on Instagram. Put in the promo code NSR and light
Get
up
enlightened.
your life. Yeah, get enlightened. Do something. Go check
Light
it
up
out.
your life, get enlightened, light up somebody else's life.
Yeah, it's fun. Do it.
Hey everyone, Chris Pandolfi from the infamous String Dusters here to let you know that my podcast, Inside the Musician's Brain, is back on the airwaves for Season 4, which means it's time once again to get deep with influential musicians from all across the musical landscape to really understand and translate the lessons of success, failure, inspiration, and hard work that are behind the music and the artists that we love. My guests this season include Rachel Price from Lake Street Dive, Sam Bush, Chris Wood, Chris Funk from The Decemberists, Lindsay Liu, MC Taylor from His Golden Messenger, and more. Check us out, and thanks for listening.
We're so excited to tell you a bit about today's sponsor, Music Masters Collective. They are a nonprofit organization that produces unique music events, providing opportunities for fans and artists to meet and collaborate in an inspired and creative atmosphere.
Music Masters Collective events give you the opportunity to learn from world-class musicians like Otil Burbridge, Steve Earle, Richard Thompson, former members of the band, the Milk Carton Kids, Nikki Glaspie, the Fab Four, and Sean Colvin, and so many more.
At an event like the Milk Carton Kids Sad Song Summer Camp happening this July, you can expect immersive classes, evenings of entertainment, excellent food, and a space for a lucky group of folks to learn, co-write, workshop, and perform with like-minded peers, all with the guidance of Kenneth Pattengale, Joey Ryan, and some of their favorite songwriters. This all-inclusive week in the Catskill Mountains of upstate New York is guaranteed to be magical. Scholarships are available and spots are extremely limited, so visit www.sadsongSummerCamp.com/simple to learn more. That's www.sadsongssummercamp.com/simple. Check it out.
No simple road. No simple road. No simple road. No simple road.
It's feeling lonely.
So lonely.
Hey now, No Simple Road family. How you doing? Welcome back to
Hi
No
there,
Simple Road this
family.
week.
Hello, everybody.
How's everybody holding up out there? Let's hear it. No? No, nothing?
Oh,
I don't know.
Hi.
I was hoping that the family would say something. They didn't say
I'm
anything.
sure they did.
You
Well,
think?
they did.
I-
Everybody did say
Yeah.
something.
We have something special for you guys this week. So
Another episode.
another episode. Yeah, no. This week our guest is Space Kamp.
Space Kamp.
So
Whoop-de-whoop.
if you don't know who Space Kamp, how would you say that? If you don't know who they are, or if you don't know
If
who
you
they
don't know
is?
who they is, you
that's
better
probably
go
a better
find
way to say
out.
it. Yeah,
To it.
you got to
Check
go
it
check these
out.
guys out. This is a little something different, man.
Homegrown.
This is some Grateful Dead family rap, flow, groove.
It's inspired, and they're just really good guys doing their thing, putting out some happy hip hop, reggae inspired, like all kinds of different genres. That's they talk about that in the interview, that they, that's their roots is rap, but they try to pull from all kinds of different places, and they're just fun. Right before the interview, I was listening to their music, and
Yeah, we were out front getting
Yeah,
down.
we were
We,
just
we had to
chopping
to
it up.
partake in a little cannabis for this one because
Absolutely.
these guys make you want to do Oskee and Adoo. These guys
Yes.
make you want to smoke a doob.
Yeah, man. And the thing that they're doing is really cool with the community that they've
Yeah.
gathered around them, the rebel hippie community, and just their merch, all the album artwork to Electric Lemonade, their album that came
it's
out,
beautiful.
dope as
their
shit.
videos. They
They're-
they say, hey guys, when you hear the thank you for the vinyl.
Yeah,
Oh,
man.
Thanks,
they
guys.
sent out some
Vinyl.
vinyls to us. Thank you so much, you guys.
Yeah, like the shit, I can't remember. Summer of Love is the song that the video is like a shakedown.
Yeah, then their videos are amazing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I always forget when we do an interview with an artist. Like, I I'll go right to Apple Music and like pull up music and
Me
listen
too.
to it beforehand. But Apple will go right to YouTube and start going down the rabbit hole with all their videos, and I always forget. And this was
that's where you find their live performances too.
Yep.
That's true. That's true. And these guys are something to see, man. Like there's no shortage of showmanship here with these cats. So you got to check out Space Kamp and show them the No Simple Robe family love, man, because we had a super good time talking to them. And like I said, that the Rebel Hippie community, shout out to you guys, man, for spreading the love out there. And
you guys signed up for their is it the Rebel Hippie? What is it?
Yeah, I got that card.
They send you a little card in the mail that you have like little QR code. So it's just like being part of something, which I thought was really neat because especially right now.
Yeah.
Right now it's cool to be part of something so that you can, I don't know, get an update.
Part of something that's like spreading love and cheer and
good
happiness.
vibes.
So badly, desperately needed right now. This episode is coming out inauguration week, and there's a lot of tension in the air, man. There's a lot of uncertainty, and just the fear meter is dialed up to 11, and anything that's putting positivity, love, good vibes out into the world, I am a super fan of right now because it is so incredibly badly needed, man. And shout out to you guys for doing your thing, and it was an honor having y'all on the show and help you spread the word to the No Simple Road family and have them become fans of Space Kamp like we have, man. But before we get to the interview, Mel, how you doing, babe?
I was just on a little rabbit trail while you were talking. Sorry, babe.
Where were you?
I was thinking about vaccines.
Oh no, we can't talk about that.
We're
on
not
here.
talking about that. But
No.
you asked
She's
me what
thinking about it.
Yeah,
I was thinking about it. It's done. How have I been this week?
Whoa, that was scary. I got scared just now.
Yeah, I was a little tripped out for a second. But I don't know. I guess I'm doing okay. I don't really have too much to report. I've kind of been letting myself off the hook as far as my head's concerned, and so I haven't really been too tumultuous. I know.
What do you mean when you say letting yourself off the hook as far as your head is concerned? That's vague.
It is a mouthful and it is vague. But what I mean when I say that is usually I'm always like striving in my head, like I should be doing something, or I should go somewhere, or accomplish something, or sign up for something, and I haven't done that this week, and I kind of
like letting the pressure off yourself a little. Okay.
Yeah, so I haven't been, putting extra chores or pressure or, guff on myself, and I've been feeling pretty good. There was I was talking to a coworker at work, and she was saying something like, "When I ... then I'll be okay." And
when I have $1 million.
Exactly. And exactly why I said ... because it was her version of then I'll be okay. And I go, what about if you felt like you were okay now
First.
and you didn't have to wait for ... And she was like, And so ever since that conversation with her, I've just kind of been throwing that around in my head. It was the new moon recently, and so it's just kind of been swirling in my head about giving myself the okay right now, not the future okay. So
the current okay.
I've been kind of good. I've been sad because you've been having a hard time this week, but I haven't been personally sad. I've been,
You've been holding space.
Yes. I've been empathetic toward you, but I've actually been pretty okay.
I just said a term that I never really fully understood until pandemic.
So when I was going to yoga school, because remember I went to Kundalini yoga school, and then I came back and I went to yoga school again. And there was a term, and that was it. When you're a teacher, you're holding space for your students. So you're making sure that, first of all, physically that everyone's okay. That's always your first job. Make sure, nobody's having any heart attacks or breathing issues or in pain. But then beyond
Shitting
that,
themselves because they're all twisted up.
That's good to check on all those things.
It's true. You do. You want to make sure. So you go around the room and you check in everything out. But once you get that done and they're in their position, and this was in a yin yoga class.
Mm-hmm.
Is
there a yang yoga class? Sorry.
But the purpose is to get people into these positions and excuse me, and be in them for an extended portion of time. So it's not just like 30 seconds and you move to the next thing. It's like a minute, 5 minutes, 7 minutes in a relaxed position, but it's still a stretch.
Right.
And you're vulnerable during that time. So vulnerable. And relaxed. You're not quite sleeping and you're not active, but you are awake, but you're kind of drifting.
The in-between.
Yeah.
It's a great place to be.
It's a fantastic place to get people into, to help people get into. But once you're in that place, you have to hold space for people. You have to make sure that everything is okay and that you're not like intruding on their time. You're not you're making sure that everything's okay. Nobody's going to come in. And it's a really sweet, beautiful place to be in. And I think that we do that with the show. We hold space for people, but just in a different way.
Yeah. I never fully understood what the term meant until I stopped going to the office and was here all the time. And I realized that that's what I'm doing here in the house when you guys are out. It's maintaining the energy of the house and like holding the space together. You know what I mean? That's why when one of us is funky, it's extra weird, And yeah, I just never fully understood the weight of that term. And then like the I don't know what the word is, the mission of doing that, what it meant for the person that was actually holding the space, because that's not an easy thing to do, to be the one that's in charge of maintaining the energy for somewhere. It think about Space Kamp. Like those guys are holding space for the audience when they're performing, and vice versa. And it's creating an energetic field that other people can do what they need to do in, basically, right?
I mean, it's definitely multi-layered. There's a lot of different ways, like what you were just saying about you holding space. I didn't even think about that. I didn't even think about it that way. But yeah, you're maintaining an energetic space for people to be free in that area, in that domain. And it's a huge job.
Yeah.
It's a very important, noble, and huge job.
Just the term sounds like if you think of it like holding space.
Oh shit! I never even thought about it.
Literally.
Space, like holding space, like almost like
Atlas,
with
yeah.
the world. Yeah.
Wow. Damn, Apple! I never even thought about it from that perspective.
See, that's what I'm saying, because you said it from that perspective. I was thinking about it from yoga. Apple's thinking about it literally.
Apple's in space holding shit up.
It's true, though. Think the connotation that it brings is, when you hold something, it's like you're caring for it. You're cherishing it. You're keeping it from
maintaining
harm or, from anything getting around it. And yeah, holding space is...
Wow. That's rad.
Yeah.
I thought we talked about that before here, about like me being home and doing that. I thought we had brought that up on here before.
You have brought it up, but you never talked about holding space. I don't think that term came up, and I certainly don't remember it in regards to you.
Yeah, it always, in the past, like that always just sounded like some fucking woo-woo yoga term.
Look, man, the further I get away from these all yoga woo-woo stuff, like
woo-woo,
it is... It's relevant.
Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
That's all I can say. Thank you, baby. Thanks. That's all I can say about all of it.
No matter what it is, or
If you get
or
annoyed,
not,
yeah,
if it's helping somebody,
it's
who
helpful.
cares?
Yes, you're true, Apple. See?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we all look at people. I mean, like that's why everybody has different hobbies and stuff. You can't not,
You can't
certain
knock it.
Yeah. Be like, well, that doesn't do it for me. Well, it does it for that person that's
Yeah.
doing it.
That sounds too
Maybe
weird.
something else might do it for you.
Yeah, man. This is so weird. Like I don't even know what to say anymore. Like it's so fucking odd, and it's gone beyond. Like at the beginning, it was like, oh, this is cool. We're getting a chance to stop and like rest and families.
No, at the
are
beginning,
together.
it was never cool.
And okay, true. And like the dolphins are back and the fucking canals and whatever and all that. And then it like reality started setting in. It was like, okay. And then it was like, okay, we're in the chrysalis phase. We're going to be butterflies. And then, okay, that. And then it was like, okay, we're in a psychedelic trip and we're still tripping. And now it's like, fucking A, man, come on. The metaphors are done. What the fuck? But, you brought up me having a difficult week. Like this thing has been literally a roller coaster of like, totally fine and positive and happy about where I'm at and feeling grateful and okay. And then just utter soul crushing ennui of like never ending darkness and can't see my way out. There is no light at the end of the tunnel. And then the next day it's like, oh no, fucking rainbows or unicorns are farting Cheerios and everything's great. And then the next day is like, oh God. And this was one of those times that was like, I don't know how I'm going to get through this. And something one of my friends said, I was DMing with a friend, and one of the skills that I've learned through this is saying, hey, I don't feel good to people, like people that I trust and care about and that are my friends and that I value their opinion. Like I'm not okay right now. I'm not feeling good. I'm having a bad day. I'm having a hard time. And so I DM'd this person and we were joking around at first. And then I was like, you know what? I need to say something. I was like, this thing's been a roller coaster and I'm in the dip, something really awful. And what they said back to me was really profound, and it helped. Like, if you don't think that your words have weight, they do. And something that's like super easy for you to say to somebody may not be what they were thinking and may help them. So what he said was, he goes, take the dip in and know that sooner or later the rise begins. But I feel you. And went through some personal stuff, and he said, these dips are trying to communicate something. It's hard to find what that is. Other times you just have to force yourself out into the forest or on the beach. And it's true, man. Like the, Groundhog Day-ness of reality right now lends itself to that roller coaster. And what Mel said to me made a lot of sense too, was like, sometimes just getting out of the four walls and seeing a different color scheme, or like smelling different smells or seeing different textures, is the thing that's going to get you through and make you feel a little bit better and bring you a little bit of joy and make you smile again. And then when you go back to your routine and your thing that you've been doing, you feel rejuvenated and a little bit renewed and better. And so, yeah, I heard that from a person that said it to me, and it rang my bell. And then you said that to me, and I was like, okay. And the next day I woke up and I was like, all right, dude, you're pulling your fucking self up by your bootstraps. And so here we are doing Space Kamp intro. What about you, Apple? How you doing, brother?
I'm doing all right today.
Today?
Well, it was a rough. Sometimes, like you said, the groundhogness like thing of reliving the day. Sometimes you don't notice when you're doing funky and stuff, and you had noticed it with me this week. I didn't even really either. I've been working so hard. I just kind of just keep doing that. Get home, I'm tired, do it again, rinse, repeat type thing, and it just gets to be like you're a robot.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, nothing really to complain about. Just been so busy and everything that I forget myself sometimes. And I had a rough beginning of the week. Wasn't feeling the greatest, but also it's something we started doing around here more, which sometimes is good. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. But the good thing with us is that other people notice it. We kind of unverbally made an agreement a couple months ago, kind of all of us, it seems like, to not complain as much. And so we don't.
No.
In the middle of all this, or whatever this is of it, the whatever, we don't even know what it is.
The spot that we're at.
Yeah. It just, you don't want to come home and complain because there's so much going on in the world. So you just kind of get quiet about it. And but then, like you said, that there's really good days, bad days. I had a fantastic end of the week because I got a lot of admiration, a lot of comments, on how good I've been doing at work. And it felt really good. I got recognized for what I'm doing. Got a lot of help from the people I work with and my boss and everything. And it's just nice sometimes to be appreciated, especially now when you're working so hard and you don't really expect it, but everybody always loves that when you get it. So, and I've had a good week, and this weekend has been really nice. Again, you guys, like we always say, we'll be coming at you with new stuff. We had a couple great interviews this weekend that made me feel really good. Both of them made me cry, which is good. Like, and not crying like sadness, but tears of joy and just elation. So that I'm doing good. And it's tough. It's right now it's tough. And sometimes it's hard to feel good also.
Yeah.
To be in that moment of like feeling good. And I don't want to say like you almost feel guilty or anything, but you kind of, it's weird, the ups and downs, because like you said, that response, it's not going to last. Things are always changing and fluxing and stuff. So I don't know. We're still navigating uncharted waters ahead of us. And that
was the other thing that he said was that, when you're in the dip, just know that the rise is coming.
Yeah.
And that's true, man. And, that's a hard thing to like, I don't know. It's like if you're crying and somebody's like, just stop crying. Don't be sad. Just stop. It's like, fuck you, man. I'm fucking crying right now. You
need to come out with more than that.
The sun will come out tomorrow, bro. Every cloud has a silver lining, but it is true. I mean, those cliche sayings are sayings for a reason.
You just said a moment ago, words are weighted.
Yeah.
So those little cliche strung words together have a weight. They hit you just right when somebody is really feeling you and says something loving or healing or comforting to you because they've been there, or maybe they haven't, but they're just trying to make you feel better. Like words can be a little blanket or a little Band-Aid.
I really feel like for a good portion of the people that listen to this show and us here, like, mental health has been a thing through all of this. Like, it's for a hot
it
was
minute.
Before too,
Yeah.
but even it's personified now, underscored that,
well, maybe people that weren't having issues with mental health are now seeing a rise in that.
Yeah, man. Like when we were moving from festival to festival and concert to concert, interview to interview, work week, concert, festival, work week, mental health was not in the forefront of my mind. There were times when I did way too much partying and my mental health would suffer. But on the regular, day to day, that wasn't on my radar. but it has been a, I don't want to say a battle or a struggle, because that's not the right word, but like
a thing to deal
a
with.
thing to deal with. Yeah. Like working out, that same kind of thing. Like I have to pay attention to it now. Because I have been prone to those dips. And, like I said a few minutes ago, man, the one thing that I've realized, and you guys out there, man, this is like, take this advice for what it's worth. If you're in that dip and nobody knows it, nobody can help. And that's fucked. Like, if you're in that dip and your significant other or your friends or your family, or if you don't have anybody, tell us. Like, it's super important to voice it. Just the simple act of like, hey, I'm not feeling it.
It lets the air
It
out of the
does
tire.
something, man. It really fucking does. Like,
Think about if you're holding in that information about yourself that you're not feeling good. You're keeping it. You're holding it. Now it's become a mass. Now it has weight, but it hasn't been excreted from the body, so it's inside the body. And this is where we hold, how we get these trauma in our body. Like we hold it in our shoulders or in our stomach or in our chest. You know, we feel like people are, you know, crushing our chest, or we get these massive headaches. We have to release these things. And even if you just say it to yourself in the mirror, I do that a lot. I will talk to myself a lot, especially on my days off.
yeah, you do.
I do. Because I'd rather tell myself about my bad day than anyone else. I really would. And so I just let it out. Sometimes it does what it does to say to someone else, and sometimes it doesn't. I'll admit to that. Like, it doesn't always, but it always does do something. It lets that air out of the tire.
And I get that, because I talk to myself. I always have talked to myself. Just the process of vocalizing.
Yes.
It. Mm-hmm. Even if there's nobody there, obviously it helps when you have a friend or somebody, a loved one. But it helps just to vocalize it,
Yeah,
and get it to speak it, get it out there
Yeah,
in the world.
like,
because then it is, even if nobody was right there hearing it, it is out.
Exactly.
even like this is going to sound cheesy, but fuck it.
Gouda.
There it is. No,
Brie?
like looking at yourself in the mirror and talking to yourself in the mirror, like feeling the feeling of the words that you're saying to yourself as if somebody were saying it to you. Do you get what I mean by that?
Yeah, like sitting yourself down.
Yeah, and being like, look, man, it's gonna be okay. This isn't gonna last forever. You're doing good. You're kicking ass. Just hang in there. It's gonna be all right. Like saying that to yourself while you're looking yourself in the eye and feeling, damn, Darwin's snoring.
I was gonna say. I just wanted to say
call it
something
out.
so everybody knows that Mel, Aaron, me, none of us have a breathing problem or anything like that.
Darwin.
If you hear in the back, Darwin is getting a heavy snore on right now. It's funny. He's laying over on the other side of the table. Just
He's out.
Anyway, looking at yourself like that and then feeling the weight of the words, like
That's what I was talking about
it's
earlier.
rad.
I was letting myself off the hook, kind of a thing. You know, that's what I meant. Like, in that same way that we can be our, you know, that friend, that ear, we can also be the person that's like giving ourselves the shit. So it was this week that I decided, don't give yourself the shit.
and you know,
Not even decided. It kind of was just,
you let yourself off the fucking
Yeah.
hook finally.
yeah.
The other thing that's been a really cool thing that happened recently was meeting Jenny and Brady.
Wow. That was,
Beadwork by Jenny and her man Brady hung out with us, and it was family dinner night, and it was super cool, man. And that really like eased the pressure too, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with them again. And we
looking forward to them hearing the interview.
Yeah,
too,
we
all
recorded an
listeners.
episode with them, and that's coming out. That was awesome. to finally get to hang out with them. And yeah, I'm meeting more family is always good. It's widening the circle and enlarging the tribe and spreading the mycelium of No Simple Road.
I don't even feel like it's making the circle larger. I feel like the circle's infinite and we're just the people that
Filling
are
it.
Yeah, like the people we're just finding, like, I don't even say the attraction, that attraction to each other. Because when, like, somehow Apple met them, then later on you and I around the same time both wanted her to be on, but then she also wanted to be on, and like it was
synchronicity.
Yeah, very, and that's just kind of how No Simple Road has been for a lot of things.
Yeah, man. That I mean, we've said this so much, but this show and you guys are the best.
And what's been a really highlight of our entire time here in Portland.
Yeah.
Like, this stage and phase of Apple, Aaron, and my life has been mostly with you guys. Just 1 year into living here.
That's true.
Yeah.
It's you guys are on this ride with us for this part of our life, which is such a, I don't even know what it is, to be honest. It's cool.
Don't know what it is because it keeps changing.
Yeah, it's been a blessing. It's been something that I've had to get used to. It's been a great way to let things out. It's been weird to have to hold things in, because that's happened also. Like, it's just been such a fantastical relationship, and I'm really just grateful and proud of what we do here.
Yeah, it's very fulfilling, and I just got to add something in here, and it's funny to let them in behind the scenes a little, because this is funny that Aaron sometimes, because he is the conductor, gets work like we don't.
Shut
Oh
up,
my
man.
gosh!
I
Yes,
gotta
yes,
share this.
Apple,
This
yes.
is funny. I
Oh,
mean,
shucks.
Aaron, we're like we'll have
He's a worry wart.
one weekend. We usually have several episodes that are recorded, ready to go, and like 1 weekend will go by without a guest, and we have a weekend off. Like, we took New Year's weekend off with nothing to record, and Aaron's like, "Man, I need your guys' help. We got to start coming up with guests."
We didn't have anything scheduled when
It
I
sounded
said
more like,
we had
I need your help.
and this is the
We
voice.
need people on the show.
This is the funny part, is getting at that voice. Me and Mel were on the patio the other morning talking
Fucking shit.
because we both threw a bunch of names at him. These people will eventually get it. Have been on our list, but all of a sudden, like, this weekend we had 3 interviews. Next weekend we got started. I mean, all of a sudden we're just like booked up again. A lot of times people reaching out to us, and I was talking to Mel, and she just did that. But she's all, "Oh, I bust his balls about it." It's like, "Oh, I can't even do it." She just did it.
I don't know.
And I just lost my shit. Started cracking up. I was like, and then Aaron came back out, was like, "What are you guys laughing at?" And when she told him, he like looked at us like, "Screw you guys!" Like, it was just, it's fun. It was funny and it was cute. Aaron,
It's cute because he really, you just care so much about the show.
I do. I
Yeah.
think about it every second.
We know you do, and it's great, and it's also funny because, yeah, like you were saying, it doesn't just happen for you guys. It just happens, but
Fuckers.
it does fucking happen. Like, people do, like Apple said. Okay, so maybe we won't seek someone out, but then another person will be like, "Hey, I'm interested in coming on,"
Or I know this guy.
or exactly, or one of our previous, people that we work with will be like, "Hey, I've got this new band," and so it always works itself out. And when the stress comes and it starts coming down on Aaron, it's just hard for me and Apple not to crack up, because we know it's going to be fine.
You know
it's
what's-
that,
he knows it's gonna be fun
Yes,
too.
he does.
But that's that part of him that little bit of a worrying,
Yeah.
the nurturer.
I don't know what to do. No, I was watching Joe Rogan, and it was a recent interview, and I can't remember who he was speaking to, but the guy was like, "Damn, Joe, like, you guys built this studio in Austin, and like, you've done like thousands of episodes." And they were talking about when Rogan the first couple of episodes that he did before it was ever anything. Like it was him and another comedian like talking about MMA or something. And Joe was like, dude, this thing does itself now. Like all I got to do is show up. This thing completely has a mind of its own.
Yeah.
And the guy was like, what do you mean? He was like, I can't explain it to you. This thing happens whether I'm pushing it to happen or not. Like it's got its own momentum. And I am not comparing No Simple Road to the Joe Rogan podcast.
You can.
But I do feel like
understand
that.
it.
I understand what he means by that. Like, I think at first there was a force of will involved with this, like intention and pushing to make something happen. And then that thing happens. And then it's just doing it. It's like a perpetual motion machine.
You created a baby, and babies don't stay babies.
Mm-mm.
They grow into toddlers. They grow into kids,
I can't.
preteens.
But they always need nourishment.
They need attention, but you don't need to wipe your 18-year-old's butt anymore.
No, that'd be just weird.
You know?
That
I
would
mean,
be
it's
weird.
under certain circumstances that does
Sure,
happen.
okay.
But you know,
Still be weird.
what I'm saying is
You boof it, it's free.
you don't need to take care of kids like little babies their entire phase of their life. You know, like there's growth. Same thing with the relationship. You know, you're not always trying to court your wife if you've been married for 50 years. Yeah, it's fun, but that courting stage is not necessarily over, but
It's
just
different.
It's different. It evolves. It changes. Their love is still there. The attention's still there, but it's different. And so the show itself, it's its own entity. It's not undescript.
That makes sense. Totally.
So,
I get it.
Yeah. So people wanting to come on the show is natural because this show is a thing.
It's just weird to be us. Period. That's the end of the sentence. No, it's just weird to be
True.
us, and then like to come to grips with the fact that there's people that want to come on this podcast.
I don't ever think about
That's
it
weird.
like that.
That's
Do you think about it like that, Apple?
No, not, I mean, not that it's weird. I guess not weird, but I
it's
constantly like flattered by it. And
That-
so like, wow, really? You want people like us? They want to be on this forum.
it's more than like flattery or like I'm a music fan. You know what I mean? Like I'm me, we're just us. And there's times when I'm like totally get it and okay. And that's cool. Yeah. And then there's times where I'm like, really?
Good.
Really?
You should always have that.
Fucking come on our show and talk to us, man?
Always.
Okay.
Well, tell you, it's like love. People it's constant when people come on. It's love. They want to come on. It feels like being loved, and sometimes that's hard. Sometimes you're in a bad mood. You don't feel like you deserve love and stuff. There's times
I have to say the two interviews that we did this weekend, the one we did yesterday, can I say their name?
Yeah.
With International Orange, and then we did one today with Jamel from
AKA Jamal.
aka Jamal from YouTube, and he does reaction videos. And both of those interviews, it just set me something good, like cloud 9, but like in my heart. And it amazes me what this show, how it feeds me.
Us, yeah.
You know, yes, definitely us, but I'm just personalizing it, how it feeds me into like, just when I thought like, okay, what else can we do? Or just when I thought like, okay, we did this, or it finds newer ways to be fresh and to bless me. And yeah, it's a live, breathing, kicking, screaming machine.
Well, let's take care of this baby.
Full of love.
Yeah. And, you know, this episode that we're about to let you guys in on with Space Kamp, this was one of those interviews. I remember when we were done, we were jazzed
Oh my gosh.
when this thing was over.
I've been saying that a lot. Like I said that with Space Kamp, and I said it today with Jamel. Like I've certain guests
Feels
we
like
have.
family.
Yeah, it feels like my literal family. Like, of course, No Simple Road family. as well, but my family that I literally grew up
Boricua
with.
family.
Yeah, and it was kind of a really beautiful thing to be reminded of that.
Yeah, man. These guys are dope. And speaking of dope, let's do the business.
Do it.
So follow us on all social media platforms at No Simple Road. And if you are a Facebooker, you can join the No Simple Road family group over there on Facebook. And hey, patreon.com/No Simple Road is the place where you can go and you can sign up to become a patron of No Simple Road, like our new $20 patron, Abigail H.
Abigail.
What's up?
Yeah.
Chandonator Abigail.
Mel has something special that she's
Yes.
going to hook you up with, and I have something special I'm going to hook you up with, and we appreciate you, and we speak your name, Abigail.
I've just always loved the name Abigail too. Just gonna say that.
It's a dope-ass name.
Yes.
But yeah, that is how we pay the bills over here at No Simple Road. Apart from the advertising dollars that we get, which aren't very much, let me tell you something. It is the Chandonators that put the gas in the tank and allow us to keep creating the content for you guys and having these wonderful conversations and spreading love and talking about mental health and having fun and bringing new bands to you and old bands to you and history and fun and all the stuff that we do.
All kinds of stuff.
So that is how we pay for this thing that is called No Simple Road. So if you are so inclined, 2020 wasn't so hot for us. 2021 isn't looking so great financially either. We need your help. Patreon.com/No Simple Road. One word. Go over there. Become a Chandonator. Do it. Do it now.
And if the other thing we haven't said in a little bit either is something you can do that involves no money or anything like that, which I know a lot of you do because we do it when we love something. Suggest us to somebody that you know.
Yep.
A family, friend, something like that. So that spreading the word of mouth of this show helps so much.
We've done enough shows now that there is a lot of different
Content
that somebody out there that you know will love the music or the person that we're talking to.
Yep. And if you want to do something that doesn't cost any money at all, if you have, okay, look, I'm just going to be real with you guys for a minute. Check it out. If you listen to No Simple Road every week, when we put out a new episode, you're one of those people that gets a notification, or you're one of those people that looks for when we drop a new episode, and you haven't left a 5-star review on Apple Podcast, shame on you.
Why?
I know. I think
Shame.
Mel just. I think me and
Why?
Mel
No, I'm
both
just
looked
kidding.
at the same time. We haven't had a
Yeah, we
review
did.
since November 23rd.
Apple and I we rush to see who's going to be first. And then whoever's first gets to read it, which is fine. There's, it's our little game.
Come on, man. Like,
But
seriously,
Aaron's
don't cost
true.
nothing. And like, check it out. We need a 2021 review.
What? Last one was in November.
November 23rd.
Before Christmas. We didn't get
Before
Christmas love.
Thanksgiving.
We did not get New Year's love. We didn't get Thanksgiving love.
This is called motivation through guilt.
Also, what's
No.
that tepid line?
971-808-1524. That number again is 971-808-1524. Operator standing by 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Take your call.
Those are fun, guys. Do that.
Yeah, go ahead and call in. Tell us about your favorite New Year's story, or tell us your cat's name. That would be fun. Or how you met your spouse.
Those are always super fun too because the Google Translate is never right. It's always a goofy, silly thing, and then we listen to the person's voice after seeing the Google Translate
Yeah.
part.
And check this out, you guys. I have some news that's coming from No Simple Road and Osiris. It's coming soon. Can't tell you yet, but I can tell you this. There are a bunch of awesome podcasts on Osiris Media. You guys, if you like fish, there used to be 3 fish podcasts. There was the Helping Friendly podcast, Under the
On
Scales,
Osiris, yeah.
and damn it,
Under the Scales.
I said that.
Oh. Helping Friendly.
I said
Under the
that.
Scales.
Damn it, I can't remember the third one.
Stranger.
You're killing me right now. I'm dying over here. It is now, all 3 of them are now under mine. So 3 podcasts in one, under mine. There's also
Like three podcasts in one.
there's also Past, Present, Future Live. There's Eric Krasno Plus One. There's
Comes a time.
Comes a Time. There's I am very proud to be a part of Osiris Media. You guys should go check out all the other podcasts on our network, and I can't wait to tell you guys the news. I'm so excited. It's coming soon. Just hang on, maybe a couple weeks, and I'm going to tell you a secret. And then a podcast that is not on our network that you guys should go check out is called Dead and Gone, and this was created by Payne Lindsay, the creator of Up and Vanished and Radio Rental. And what he did is he partnered with this dude, Jake Brennan, who's the guy that hosts Disgraceland, and they made this podcast called Dead and Gone. So what the deal is in 1985, 2 fans of the Dead were brutally murdered, and the cops arrested this dude who was found guilty and sentenced to death. But for 30 years, rumors have gone around the Grateful Dead community that the police got the wrong dude. So what they did is they created this Dead and Gone podcast, and it's a 10-part investigative series that dives deep into this 35-year-old case and uncovers brand new information like new witnesses with stories that point towards an alternative suspect who is still out there. And man, this is a super engrossing, really, really well-produced podcast. Go check it out, Dead and Gone. Search it. You should go listen to it. Darwin's snoring his ass off. We're going to get you to the interview. Are you guys ready?
Ready. I'm ready to hear Space Kamp.
Adoo and Oskee, thank you again for coming and blessing us with your presence, you guys. And if you all out there are ready, you should take a minute before you start the interview and go follow them on social media and download their album. Show these guys the No Simple Road
Lemoade
family love. Without further ado, the No Simple Road crew gives you
Space Kamp.
It's the summer of love.
Changes from inside. Spread your wings and fly. In the night we sing. Love is everything. It's the summer of love. Astronauts and dancing bands. Smell the freedom in the air. Flowers in her hair. Sour in a cone. Home in her eyes. Can't leave her alone. She read lines on my poem. Recites a poem. No words to the zone. Yeah, we all sing along. Keep on trucking. A little further down the line. Those of mine don't matter. Those that matter don't mind. A friend of the devil's a friend of mine. Summer of love. Dilated eyes, scarlet begonias, wrapped in vines. Bird club, make that day come alive. Come alive. Come alive. Sits on the hill, singing the park. Summer. Sit down in the house, show me what you got. Flowers in the pot, balloon about to pop. Please reserve your spot on your buzzer now. Summer of love, peace and state of mind. We deserve the shine. Changes from inside. Spread your wings and fly. In the night we sing. Love is everything. It's the summer of love. Sky was yellow, the sun was blue. We sipping champagne out of shoe. Skip school, sink they ship of fools. Paying dues never made the news. Sunflower, watch your bloom. Strain perfume, terrapin tattoo. I knew without asking she was into the blues. Waist backstage with a spark on the fuse. Lightning bolt, lemonade, steal your face, renegade, acid hits, daffodils. This how summer's supposed to feel. Reserve your spot
What's up, man? I'm Aaron. How you doing, brother?
Very well, man. I'm Adoo.
Adoo.
What's up, man?
Good to meet you guys, man. And I'm gonna let these guys.
I'm Mel. Thank you so much for coming on, and we've been jamming the whole afternoon, chilling, cool vibes. So thanks for prepping me for the interview today.
Right.
And then I'm the third one here. I'm Apple, and I'm so glad you guys joined us. We are just digging what you guys are doing, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having us.
So just for the people that are out there, I know you already gave us your names, but tell them what the name of your band is and what y'all do.
Our group is called Space Kamp, and we are both vocalists. So we both just do kind of lead vocals. Our production is from a guy named Rob the Vikings. So he brings in basically a studio band. So we have one producer, and he basically puts everything together. He mainly does the synth and stuff like that. So he brings in the drummer and the guitarist and stuff like that.
Oh shit! So the music that we're hearing isn't beats and tracks; it's actual live.
Oh yeah,
musicians.
it's live instrumentation.
Oh
Yeah, everything's
shit!
live instrumentation.
Oh, that just took it to a whole new level right there. That's fucking badass, man.
So how'd you guys get hooked up with Rob the Viking? He sounds rad.
Yeah, Rob is used to be he used to produce. Well, I guess he still does. There was a group out of Vancouver, BC called Swollen Members, and they were a pretty big like underground hip hop act in the late '90s, early 2000s. So touring, I did some tour management for the one guy from that group. I met Rob in Vancouver through that. And I was just always a fan of his sound. So as soon as Oskee and I got together, I was like instantly like, Rob is the guy for us to because we wanted to be able to be a band, but we don't have a band, right?
Yeah.
So I said, I felt Rob was the perfect person because he's really into vintage sound. He collects, he can play pretty much everything. And he just knows so many amazing musicians that I figured he was the guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So take it back to, you said when you knew you wanted to be, a band, how'd that happen? How'd you guys hook up?
Oh, we were at a local show, and a dude came up to me and asked me if I wanted to be in a group and make music together, right? And originally we were trying to be like the stoniest people out there, like Bread and Meth, like that type of vibe, like real hip hop oriented. And then around the first album, after the first album dropped, like we wanted to start taking our sound to like a whole new different level. So we really started to dive deep into classic rock, into the reggae sound, into stuff more like that where we can blend genres.
Yeah.
Right? We wanted to blend some genres together and see what we can create. And we created Electric Lemoade, man, and the ball's been rolling ever since.
So fucking
Yeah, I
good.
think touring. Yeah, I think being on, we went on tour together, and like when you're on the road and you kind of really get to know each other and like know what each other's influences are, know what each other's like. We really realized that we liked a lot of the same stuff that was outside of the realm of like necessarily what we were making when we first got together. So we were able to be like, wow, like let's just do everything that we really love and
push the lines a little bit.
No limits. That's great from the beginning, like let's just do whatever. And I love both your vocals. Oh my gosh. You guys remind me of so many people that I love in my life, and also like a good, like the vibe that's coming from, from the production and from your voices is you guys found a magic trio. Yeah. With what you're doing, because it's fun too. It's kind of silly, which I love. Don't take things so serious too, but you could still get into a real good groove and just, I appreciated it. I'm kind of glad that I waited to really, because I've heard your music before. I don't know how, but I've
probably
heard,
from me.
Yeah. Well, like before
the song Homegrown. She was like, I know this, because she was singing it.
And also I learned lyrics really quick too. I love that about your positive lyrics, and it's not cheesy positive. It's real.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? I feel like you're joking with yourself seriously.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think there's a problem when people start like acting way too serious all the time.
Oh,
And
shit,
it's like,
right?
yeah, you have to have a good time. Like everybody likes to go to like amusement park or like, you know what I'm saying? Everybody likes to have fun. Everybody likes to smile, you know? People that act like they want to be serious all the time, it's, you know, I feel sad for them, you know?
No
I
shit.
do too, man, because when you can laugh, it just takes the pressure off, like at least half, 50%, if not all of it, you know? You get a genuine laugh or a genuine like, oh yeah, you know? And it relieves like so much pressure, and that's what I feel with your music. It's like it alleviates pressure. It calms you down. It puts you in a space, and it feels like we're all chilling, smoking out together. Like
That's what it's like. It's like you guys are like really good weed.
Yeah.
I was sitting out there. I was sitting out there checking out the videos, kind of catching up, and I wasn't really planning on getting stoned yet today, and I was like, oh, fuck that. lit up the joint, and fucking it made my day. Me and Aaron had a fun morning of crawling on the roof, cleaning rain gutters because of leaks and stuff. So he's more worn out than me. And I put that on. It was like good for my head, the music, and then it got me back, and it brought me back down, and was like, okay.
You know, man, the thing that got me was like, I remember we moved from Vegas to Portland in 2016, right? And I remember a day Mel and I were driving up the freeway, and we were listening to I just told you the fucking kid's name 2 minutes ago. Astro World.
Travis.
We were listening to Travis Scott. And I was like, you know, Mel, it's coming that the Grateful Dead world and hip hop world are gonna overlap. It's gonna
100%.
It's gonna happen soon. This is in 2016. And I was like, I can't fucking wait. I can't wait to see what it looks like. And then you guys popped up, and I was like, oh, well, there it is. Fucking perfect.
Yeah.
It was my favorite when Astroworld came out, because Aaron will listen to hip hop, like when we got it on in the background. But when that came, I was like, dude, you got to listen to the lyrics. Give this, and was rapping about DMT and everything. He was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It's happening.
So that was the thing that got me with you guys. That's what pulled me in, was that crossover, the Grateful Dead and hip hop. And I'm curious, man, how did you guys find that Grateful Dead vibe? Where did it come from?
So it's crazy. So the for me, like the Grateful Dead by accident is what kind of got me into wanting to make music. So like when I was and this is years later, I didn't even realize this until years later. But when I was a kid, basically every weekend we would go to my mom's cousin's house, and so her son was about 10. He's about 10, 15 years older than me, and he played the drums in the basement. It was just rugs on the wall and lava lamps, and he would go on these tours where he would just he would follow the Dead around. He's a lot guy, and I just remember the tapes. I just remember that he had taper tapes. And I remember not so much the music, but I remember like the aesthetic of loving the way things look. And then like fast forward like years and years later, I'm touring and like as a teenager I dove into like graffiti and just kind of like the hip hop culture overall. So that was the direction that I went. So years later I'm like touring and I'm like on the road, and we're small, we're playing dive bars and stuff like that, and it's a tight community, it's a tight scene. And so we would play, like for instance, we would play Eugene and maybe Portland, and then maybe Vancouver, Washington. We'd see the same kids coming 3 nights in a row, or the same thing in different regions. It'd be like, and started to have this like family and friends like kind of vibe, like where people showing up with tattoos and different things like that, and just this like real community kind of thing of like, it didn't feel like we have any kind of fans. It felt like we were like real family and friends. So then the Dead comes back abound because I just love the aesthetic, and I started thinking like, wow, you know what, man? I started thinking back to when I was a kid, and I was like, yo, my cousin was like really heavy into the Dead, and this is probably like maybe 2000, maybe 8 or 9, and so I kind of dove into the rabbit hole and just started listening, you know, and I started with like Touch of Grey because that was the video that I remembered, and that was what I remembered, and I started with that, and I just started loving the music. And I think anybody that's like our age that says that like they got into the Dead first from the music is lying, right? You got into the Dead, like our age guys got into the Dead first because like we love the tie-dye and we love the designs and we love the bear and we love Bertha and then the music. And then the music, you know. So I'm not like one of these guys that's gonna sit here and lie and be like, yeah, man, I've been listening to the Dead since I was, you know. That's not the truth. You know what I mean? Like I never got to see Jerry. The first show that I ever got to see was like Dead and Company, like, you know, 3 or 4 years ago. It was the first time I got to see a live event. I couldn't afford to go to Chicago, you know, or anything like that. So for me, that's kind of how the Dead came into the whole thing. And then when we were on tour, it like, as soon as we got to San Francisco, I'd always be like, yo, we have to go to Nashberry. We got to go to the house and, you know, go to Hippie Hill. And just that whole culture just really influenced us, you know, and like that's what we're listening to in the car while we're driving around. And then slowly but surely, you know, I came up on this huge like taper collection, and that's just all we were listening to.
Dude,
I have like, what do you think of their lyrics? Because you two write lyrics, correct? Right, you guys both write your music. Yeah, like what do you think about their the lyrics and how they put across such a
their
deep...
lyrics are heavy,
right?
Right.
They're heavy, right? They're so heavy, but their sound is so light, right? Like you think, like if you're not really paying attention to the words, you think they're talking about like the most happiest thing in the world, right?
Right.
But if you pay attention and like take away the guitars and all that and just strip it down to the words, it's some heavy shit.
They're getting real with you. Yeah.
So imagine, I didn't know nothing about that. Go take whatever sacrament we take and listening to that music, it unlocks something. And that is part of the family that you're like, holy shit, I can be this real and this vulnerable with this many people. Like what? And they're all singing the same song, and it might not be the same message, of course, but it's the same feelings that we're feeling, and we're feeling them together. And that is such a heavy, creative, tripped out way to put it, embed it in music.
There's
like that.
nowhere else that happens other than that I could think
the
of.
unity. Yeah, the unity at a show, and like I said, I wish I would have been able to really, you know, see the Dead, and I'm not taking anything away from Dead and Company at all, but like that vibration is, whew. So it was crazy. As like I guess they did a fall tour and they came to Philly. I want to say I guess it's 3 years ago now, and my buddy had got his seats and whatever. And my father passed away the night before the show.
Oh my gosh, dude.
No.
And I was like, yo, I'm not going, you know, like, you know, obviously. And I remember my mom being like, yo, you should go, you know, like you should go to the show. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to be able to think. And the crazy shit, you know, obviously you never know what they're going to play. You know what I'm saying? You never know, like, man, you know, whatever. So my father's name was John, and I was like, man, it would be so dope if they played Uncle John's band, you know, and like it would be so dope if they played that. And I got to the show, and I can say for sure I had like a spiritual experience that night. You know, obviously I wasn't fully in my head, and I was like pretty much dead sober that night, and I still was, you know, just in another place. And it was like I know they opened their second set, they did like a 25-minute version of Dark Star, and I just went to another place, and it was one of the most beautiful, you know, experiences that I ever had. And then a couple of years, 2 years later, I had another like crazy just experience, just like what you were saying, like that unity among everybody, and just feeling like a really one and losing yourself for, you know, the hours. It's amazing.
You know, you said something. You're like, I'm not going to lie. It was the aesthetic that drew me in.
Yeah.
My first show was in 1989. That was what drew me in. for real. Like,
Yeah.
Me and this dude have been friends forever since I was 12. I'm 49. He's 50. How old are you?
51.
Yeah. And
but the aesthetic we did, because he's a good artist, and you used to sketch Dead stuff
before I ever even listened to him, I was drawing the
all
shit,
the album covers,
and I remember like taking acid with this guy and listening to like Hendrix and the Doors, like Biz back in the day, and always wondering like, what the fuck is up with that Grateful Dead country shit?
Yeah.
Like, why is that like a thing that goes together with psychedelics? Why are people taking acid and listening to country music? Doesn't make any sense. And when I went to my first show, I walked in there and had that. I mean, I got puddled in the lot and whatever, but like, I wasn't ready for that. The 18-year-old me was not ready for what was about to go down. I thought I was going to a concert. I had no fucking clue.
When he was a punker, he walked in with a Misfits shirt on and like a mohawk.
Yeah.
Still at the time.
And just like that, being confronted with 30,000 telepathic motherfuckers in one space at the same time and realizing like, oh shit, this isn't in my head. This is real. And it is in my head and it's in their head. And like, we're all here together. Oh shit. That was like completely altering. Right. And it blows my mind that 30 whatever fucking years later, you're telling the same fucking story, dude. Like,
yeah, man.
What is that shit? What do you think that is, that thread?
I don't know. It's just beautiful.
Well said.
Well said.
That's true.
It's just beautiful, man. There's something about the way that they are able to incorporate the listener that no other band or no other group has ever. I don't think has even come close to. You know, like that. Like there is. I mean, just even going to the shows that I've gone to, like, you know, going down on Shakedown Street and just being around in the parking lot, like, you know, it's its own thing. It's its own. So I can't imagine being able to go in '89 when it was like more people in the parking lot than there was in the shows, you know, like that would have been
it was like stepping out of the car into another planet. Like for real.
And it was a city.
It was like,
as
what
far
the
as you could
fuck
see.
did I just get myself into? And like feeling like that feeling of you don't know the rules of the road, like you don't know how this shit works and you're fucking wet behind the ears, but everybody was chill. And that was the thing that drew me in. And it's the thing that you just said. It's that feeling of family and community, man. And what really trips me out is now all these years later, like the Dead have been around like 50 plus years, right? That music is still spawning new shit. It's like a virus almost, like you get infected by that thing, and then because of that thing you move out into the world and start doing your version of that thing, and that's what you guys are doing. And you've taken it even a step further by taking a genre and a culture that was like, I don't take this the wrong way, but like opposite. If you look at the old hip hop culture,
Jerry, I saw interviews with Jerry where he was like, "Rap isn't music."
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And you put the two together, and it comes out. I feel the same feeling. That vibration is. I can feel it come through with the music that you guys are making, and it's a strange thing to me. Like, it's like an ingredient in a sauce or something. And you're like, no matter what kind of sauce it is, that ingredient is in there. You could taste it. You know what I mean? It's like, oh shit. Okay. So I want to know, like, once you're like touring and you're driving around listening to the Dead and doing your thing, you've gone to shows. Did that alter the way that you guys do your writing and the way that you approach your flow?
I think so.
Kinda, yeah.
In the way that go ahead.
Kinda, yeah. I would say more for me. I'm like an experienced dude, right? Like I draw inspiration from like personal experiences and like experience others, right?
Me too.
And for the past, I would say like 3 years, I've been heavily into psychedelics. and going through those experiences while I've been on psychedelics, right? So I think that's what like kind of changed my format of writing, you know, and like even like the creations of songs, right? And with this guy, like we experience things together, so it's like we try to like replicate that with our music. We want our music to be an experience, a little journey, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's again, the similarities are a trip, man.
Well, okay, like when you guys are like your raps, I love how you pick up right where the others, it's almost, you guys have completely distinct voices
and style.
However, it's so hard for the transition. Like if you're not paying attention, it feels like one voice. That's beautiful to me. That's what I noticed in your guys' style is like, no matter what you guys, it's more than a compliment. It's like getting on the same wavelength, and like, I don't know, the voice, it becomes one.
Yeah, it's like the same frequency. It's that
frequency. Same wave.
Yeah, it's the same wave, but your flavor, you know?
Yeah. I think too, I think not just the Grateful Dead, but the whole 60s kind of that whole culture, like all the music that came out then, I think that that helped us kind of make our more simple but try to be more powerful, if that makes any sense. So like, whereas the old record, you might, if maybe you're talking about, let's say we're talking about smoking grass, it might have been much more blunt and much more like rolling up, when, we're listening to these guys, man, Jimmy and the Dead and all these guys were talking about heavy stuff, but like your mom could listen to it and swear that they're talking about, something different, and your 5-year-old kid could listen to it and it's safe but dangerous.
Yes.
And I think that's the thing about, that's the thing about like the Grateful Dead culture too, like kind of going back to what you're saying about the whole culture of it. I think that's the thing that's maybe the most appealing, especially to younger generation, is that it's when you're there, you feel safe, but it's dangerous. You know what I mean? It's not, you're not in a, it's not a, there's definitely
you got to watch your back
going on, and it's definitely all kinds, everything is there, all the debauchery, but you feel safe. And I think that's what we want to do is, we want to be a group that definitely is pushing the limits and is definitely like talking about very heavy things and serious things. At the same time, I think that we want to be a safe place for people to be able to go and have fun and feel like it doesn't, they don't have to feel any kind of weird way with it,
Yeah.
It's a trip that you said, like when you are out touring, when the world's not completely out of its mind, that there's community, that you're seeing the same people at shows, and that's a thing that's happening. I know that people are hungry for connection and family, and I'm not just talking about like the family that that's imposed upon you by your birth. I'm talking about the family that you choose, that's your friends, that your found family.
Yeah, sometimes you don't have to choose. You just both know it, or whoever. Like you just meet somebody and like, oh, that's my brother. I just know it.
Right. But you said something a minute ago, man. You said, I'm an experienced guy. I don't like listening to other people's thing. I want to experience it myself. I'm the same way. Like if I read a book about going somewhere, all it does is make me want to go there and find out what it was. And that's how psychedelics were for me too, man. I remember like reading the Electric Kool-Aid Acid Test book before I started taking acid, and like I knew people that read that and they were like, oh shit, I'm never doing acid. All that did is make me like, I'm gonna find out what the fuck is going on. Why is that the way, What do you think is the biggest transformational thing that's happened to you since you're starting your journey with psychedelics?
Oh man, I think it's just made me like realize things like with myself, right? That like kind of like was like,
what is a city without its music? the legacy of the New York Philharmonic
is incredible. Nearly 2 centuries of history. That's a lot of music and a lot of stories.
I was sitting on stage for the very first time thinking, I can't quite believe this is happening.
Join me, Jamie Bernstein, as we explore the history of the New York Philharmonic. It's the NY Phil Story Made in New York, a podcast about a city, its people, and their orchestra. Listen wherever you get podcasts.
Not making me be the person I could be, right? Because prior I was doing a whole bunch of stuff and moving completely different. And like in that time, we made zero music, right? Like we made zero music. We toured, but we made zero music. Like there was like, we were getting hit these lemons, right? We call them lemons. They were getting thrown a whole bunch of lemons at us. But like, I feel like that was because I was also like not really focused on what I was doing, right? And like, I started doing psychedelics and then going through these experiences on them with people and stuff. And then I realized like, I need to start changing my behaviors. And I need to start concentrating on stuff that I want to do. And then like a year later, we make the album. Album's beautiful, and like we've been getting way better results than what we did with like the first album.
It's
like,
energy.
You know? So at least for me, like it's helped me be a better person.
Wow, man.
How did you get introduced to that all of a sudden 3 years ago?
Yeah.
No, I don't mean who. I just mean like.
Yeah, what was the dude's name that gave you your first hit?
That's not where I'm coming from. But you know what I mean? Like you can't. That's not where we're coming from. That's not what I meant.
It was my baby mother's, right? The mother of my child's cousin. His name is Gibbs. Like he just gave me a tab one day, and I stood outside and stared at the stars under like 20-degree weather.
Whoa!
With a shirt on, with just a shirt on, no jacket, and the whole time he's like, "Yo, you need to come inside," and I'm like, "You don't understand." He's like, "I understand, bro. I get it. Like, come inside," and I'm like, "No, this is where I need to be." Right?
Yeah.
And it's been a journey ever since then, you know.
That it is where you need to be. It's the. I hate to be cliche, but I'm going to do it anyway. It's the Grateful Dead lyric. Been there so long, he's got to calling it home. It's that right there. Yeah. You have that moment of like, oh shit, I'm connected to everything out there. Everything out there is connected to me. What I do matters in this world, and it ripples out, and it causes and affects everything in my world and the people around me. And then you have to start moving different. And that's like, I remember hearing people talking about integration and integrating the psychedelic experience and all these fancy fucking words. And I'm like, what the hell are they fucking talking about? I think that's what they're talking about, is figuring out how to be a human being again once you have your mind blown like that. Because that shit ain't easy. That's scary, man.
Yeah, it's a great ego checker, right? It's a great ego checker, right? Like if somebody has a big ego, you slip them some fungi or some little Lucy, man, and you shut up real quick.
But that's the thing about the psych. Yeah, it'll let you know what's up. Let you know what's up. You know, like you're not in check. You know, you don't got no control of nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like you have control of everything and of nothing at the same time. You know, it's a crazy thing.
Yeah, and what you said about getting different results, man, that's a beautiful lesson right there, man. That's tough, because it took me 46 years to figure that shit out. It, like, for real, I would try stuff and it would be okay, but it wasn't right, and trying to force it and it's not happening, and then just not being able to figure out where I fit and how I want to move, and not working. And then once we started doing this, it just started happening. It was weird. Like the universe started feeding back.
It's like letting love in, right? Like for me, I ate a lot of mushrooms and stuff like that when I was in high school, and then took, like, you know, throughout the years here and there, whatever. But I did this. We were in Tahoe, and this is maybe like 5 years ago, and this guy gave us this stuff called changa. It's like it's basically like natural, like smokable ayahuasca, right? It's like DMT essentially.
DMT,
right?
yeah.
But,
it's like 5-MeO, sort of.
Yeah. So this shit, like before that, like he was saying, like moving completely different. Like this shit took me to a place that, like, man, you know, just came back and said, whoa, okay. Like, I have no, you know, like, all right. But what it did is it made me realize, like, before that, I realized that I was always like, I always had a chip on my shoulder. I always didn't understand, like, well, why is this guy able to do this and I'm not able to do this, and I'm working harder. I'm always like making excuses and having this like almost like dealing with bitterness and jealousy and like almost like worried about what other people was doing. And for me, it just broke all that. It just shattered all that and made me realize, like, yo, like, can deal with what you can control and only what you can control. Don't put energy into anything else. And really, like, since I've been doing that, I met this guy, and kind of got onto that positive path. And it's been like off to the races since. Like, the universe doesn't make mistakes, right? So like once you kind of have your eyes open to those things, you can't close them anymore. You know, you can't go back to
the scales fall from your eyes. Yeah, man. No, I hear you 100%.
It's like, it's another like kind of cheesy phrase, but I love it. My dad always said that, and my mom too. It's like, you get out of life what you put into it. It's totally true. Right, yeah. If you're putting negativity out and everything, that's what you're going to get back. You start taking psychedelics and get flipped, and you get a good life.
It's tough when we grow up in a culture that breeds competition.
Yes.
It breeds comparison.
Yeah.
And
can't get your shit done because you're looking over your shoulder at your buddy.
Measuring your success by having more than the guy next to you.
And putting everything in boxes, and genres, and clicks.
You smoke some DMT, and all of a sudden, you're not your body anymore. And there's an alien downloading computer viruses and shit in your head. It's fucking on. Like, we smoked some DMT a couple of years ago, man, and that trip is still affecting me today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
I'm still figuring out what happened. Like, unpacking. I got a download of information, like, for real. That's still like the computer is still spitting out code.
What were you about to say?
Oh yeah, no, I came back with a bunch, and I was just like out here trying to turn dudes on, and like, I can say literally every person that was able to take, we call it the healer, but everybody that was able to talk to the healer, man, has come out on some whole other, like, it's so crazy too, because it was one particular friend of mine, and this guy did, like, and when you're talking about like a hardcore guy that came up like the School of Hard Knocks, like, this guy did years and years and years in prison, like a hard rock dude, man. And he was like scared, these guys. And I was like, yo, my God, I've known this guy since I was a little kid, like, like since we were, 5-6 years old. And I said, yo, brother, like, I'm telling you, man, it's gonna help you out, bro. And yo, this guy literally stopped. He doesn't do anything illegal. Like, this guy is like, yo, this guy is like, and he took all of that like hustle mentality of like the street, of what he was doing in the street, turned it into a real legit business. And this guy is thriving. And he's like basically what like how you say it? Like, yeah, like not an influencer, like when you talk to people and make them like, what is
motivational speaker?
Motivational. Wow. Yeah, legit. Yo, this guy, I swear on everything, this guy got a book deal. They're writing a book about this guy's crazy ass life.
Holy shit!
DMT got me my book deal. That's what that should be called.
DMT did that.
Yeah.
But okay, DMT, are you not grateful and totally fucking scared of it? Like, what? I learned respect from DMT. And I also learned, kind of like back to the beginning when we were talking about that sense of humor and being able to laugh and not take yourself seriously.
Just laugh
like,
her ass off.
DMT put me in the most hysterical laughter I have ever gotten into. It was almost like when you sneeze like a whole bunch of times in a row, but you can't stop. Like, it was so intense and so deep. And it was just like, we're fucking everything is the same thing, and there's nothing that's different from it. And why are we spending our time like looking at a piece of sand for 50 hours? We're like, what are we doing with our time? And I love what you said, Oskee, about changing your habits, because that is one of the biggest things that I've learned too, that's kind of been the thread through all of my trips and continued trips, is change your habits. That is how you make things happen in your life. It's not these huge fucking big old things. Is you change your daily habits. You change how you brush your teeth. You change how you put your shit away. You change how you eat. You change how you prepare for yourself. And everything that you do that you're preparing for is fucking thrives. And when you don't, then you have to like play catch up. So you can't put all your good energy into your project because you're having to catch up. Oh shit, I gotta go grab something to eat real quick. Oh man, didn't do my laundry. Like it's all these little dumb shit that hangs you up. It's true.
It's true, man. That I just remember coming out of that really intense DMT trip and laughing and crying at the same time, tears streaming down my face, going, "We're so stupid. We're so stupid. What are we worried about? We're so stupid." Like I kept seeing like mice running in a maze, and like the dude just watching the mouse going, "What are you doing, man? Why just climb over the wall? It's fine. You know, you're doing, what are we doing?" So yeah, man, that's a game changer right there. That'll, like you said, that'll shut you the fuck up.
So what is
the thing?
Well, no, sorry, Apple. Go ahead.
Well, the thing for me too, that DMT really did too, is made me like, I wouldn't say afraid of death, but none of us want to die. It made me know that it was okay, that there was something. I saw like loved one. I felt whatever. I felt that they were there. The space was safe. It was a place that just made me feel like, ever since doing that years ago, same time, it made me feel okay with everything. I'm not afraid as I was of what's to come and what's after. It definitely did that.
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah, that's true, man. That's true. Because you feel more connected. Like, you feel more connected with the energy around you.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Yeah, you feel like electricity, and you're it's all part of one. And
you guys, after making Electric Lemoade and things start falling into place, like the world falls apart, right? All this shit's going on. So it's this weird juxtaposition of your work doing really well, and then the outside world is in complete chaos, right? We're having it too, like same exact thing. And I'm wondering how you guys are dealing with that. How are you dealing with the state of things and how it's affected your flow and what you do and writing and creating and all that?
It's Set Break.
Yay, Set Break. Have you ever been excited for Set Break?
Yeah, because I've been dancing. My feet hurt. I want to put them up for a minute. I want to sit on my chair that I've been dancing on all night.
Super weird.
And also, Apple's t-shirt.
Yeah.
It needs some serious attention.
Hey.
What?
I need a new t-shirt.
Do you?
Yeah, I'm tired of wearing these same old ones.
You know what you should do, Apple?
What should I do?
You should go to
Shop Tour Bus
and go check out the amazing merchandise these guys have, bro. You know what you're going to see over there?
What?
T-shirts.
You're going to see amazing Grateful Dead inspired designs that aren't too on the nose. These aren't designs that, like, you're not going to see a steal your face. You're not going to see a bull. You're not going to see the old stuff that you've seen. They're going to enlighten you with some really thoughtful and intelligent design work that they do over there. So go check it out. Go check out at Shop Tour Bus on Instagram or shoptourbus.com online. And they don't just have t-shirts. They've got hoodies and tote bags and sticker packs and all kinds of amazing stuff. And it's not just the thing that you ordered. That's not just it with Shop Tour Bus, man. The thing that like drew them in for me to have them be a sponsor for No Simple Road is what they do with the packaging. When you order something from them, it's going to come to you in a hand-designed box with a one-of-a-kind design on the inside with a Grateful Dead lyric or something cool on the inside. And then it's going to come with all kinds of extras in there too, like little trinkets and a cool
Little
page
candies. You never know what you're gonna get. Stickers, all kinds of stuff.
And some lucky people also get miracled a Grateful Dead bootleg in their order in the form of a cassette tape. So you never know. So you got to order all the time so that you can like increase. It's kind of like playing the lottery, you know, like you could order.
Plus their designs are so dope. It's hard to pick one.
True. So go.
I have several.
You do?
Yeah.
Which one's your favorite?
You know what? Transcendental, because Transcendental Nightfall of Diamonds.
Transitive Nightfall.
Transitive.
Oh, because
it's transcendental too.
No, and it is transcendental.
Yeah.
No, but yes, because it has our logo in the back, but really it's the feel of the t-shirt, and the design is really beautiful, and the color that it comes in. So.
Yeah, that design
and
is
it's
dope.
my favorite like sleep t-shirt.
And
next to the Revivalists,
they are hooking up the No Simple Road family with free shipping. So when you check out, put it in the promo code No Simple Road. They're going to hook you up with free shipping. You may be one of those lucky miracle winners that gets a cassette tape bootleg in your box. And remember, man, this is part of the No Simple Road family. They have been our original and longest sponsor.
Yeah,
and
they have.
They have stuck with us through thick and thin, so let's support them. You guys show them the No Simple Road family love. Put in the promo code No Simple Road when you check out at shoptourbus.com. At Shop Tour Bus on Instagram and shoptourbus.com online. God, I got on a roll and couldn't stop. Anyway, you know what to do. Go take care of it, man. Later.
Hey, man.
What? Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, man.
Hey, you know what?
What?
If you want to take care of yourself, your head, your body, your soul, all of those, you can come and visit us at Define Premium Cannabis. We got 2 locations up here in the Portland area, one in Hillsborough, one in Forest Grove. I happen to work at the one in Hillsborough.
And if you come to the one in Hillsborough Monday through Friday in business hours and Apple's there, if you come in and you ask for him, he will float out of the back dressed as a samurai warrior, and he will draw his Ronin blade, and he will tap the exact cannabis product that is perfect for your life. And hey, check it out, you guys. When we first moved up to Portland, one of the things that excited me was that weed was legal up here. But going into a dispensary was super fucking overwhelming.
Definitely
I would
was.
walk in there and just be like, I don't know give me a joint and that eighth, and not know what I wanted and walk out with the wrong shit. Define's mission is to match you with the product that you need, not just to sell you some bullshit and get you out the door, but to take care of the people that are coming in there and make sure that whatever's bothering them, they match them with a product that can help them with that thing. And so that's Apple's mission.
We take our time with our customers.
And they make you feel comfortable. And that's one of the reasons that Define is a sponsor of No Simple Road, because they're doing it right and they're taking care of the people out there.
They are doing it right there.
And so check it out. Also, what they're doing, if you go in and you tell them that you're part of the No Simple Road family, and this is every time you go in, not just once.
Yeah, not a one-time thing. We've had several people come in that forget this.
Yeah, you tell them you're part of the No Simple Road family, you're a listener of the show, they're going to give you 10% off your purchase, and they're going to give you a free t-shirt. They're going to hook you up. They're going to make sure that you're comfortable, that you're educated, and that you get the right thing. They've got everything there. They've got edibles, they've got flour, they've got shatter, diamonds,
Vapables, dabbables.
all of it. So go over 2 locations, one in Hillsborough, one in Forest Grove. Ask for Apple. He'll dress like a samurai. He'll draw a blade. He'll get you some weed. You'll take care of your body. You'll take care of your head, and it'll be a good day.
I think it just forced us to be like more creative on getting our music out there and how we do it, you know, and it also made us realize areas that we slacking and tried to become better in those areas, you know? So like we were touring all the time and not really promoting the album. But when like COVID happened, we were able to focus on really promoting the album and like targeting like our audience and seeing who really fucks with us, right? And like connecting with those people. So like it's a double-edged sword, right? Where we can't tour in the essence, but on the other hand, like we're connecting with more fans than we've ever been. Like we're interacting with more people, you know. We've really promoted the album well, you know. So I take the good with the bad.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, it we got lucky that we recorded the album like before everything happened. So we definitely like the downfalls were like pushing things back and like things not being able to, you know, come out like in the timely manner that we wanted to. But outside of like things just being like totally shitty for like everybody's personal life and like for the country itself, like on the I guess on the artistic front, like he's right, like we were able to be more creative. We were able to focus on writing and kind of like focus on kind of making our you know, I guess our swords sharper, I guess you would say. Like, you know, honing our skills. And also like I really think that, to be honest, I think it was a real blessing that we weren't able to tour, because like he said, like our whole, like I come from like kind of a punk rock mentality of like you jump in the van, you go on, you do, you know, your dive bars, whatever you can do, and you come home and you put some music out and then you go back out, and that's like, that's just what it is. Like you go on the road, and that's how I've never really been good with the internet or like the social media and all that stuff, and I never really got into it. And this was a blessing for us now, because we weren't able to tour, and now we're able to kind of connect with people and find out, and really, like he said, find out who really digs us and who doesn't. And I think that when the time comes that things open up, it's going to have been a real blessing, because I think that when we do go back out, we're going to be able to book and play like the places that we were kind of trying to get to anyway. You know what I mean? Like we were doing like the slow grind of like, you know, perform in this city and you get 50 people, and next time you get 75 people, and next time try to get 100. And now I think that like we're going to kind of jump levels. You know, when we go back out, I think that we're going to be able to get on better tours. I think it's not going to just be me and my wife trying to book tours and stuff. You know what I mean? I think that we're going to have some help. And I think that like when we come to cool place, you know, go to these places, I think that we're going to have even a better kind of a better result.
Wow. You guys said it. That's a fucking mouthful.
That's a super positive thought process that sounds like it's already happening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One thing sucks is all of our friends, like, you know, a lot of these venues are closing down, and that's the, like, not for us, just for everybody, you know, that's what sucks, is that like, who knows what live music is going to look like after this, you know, like nobody really knows, right? Like it's kind of crazy.
So check this out. I was thinking about this today. And then when you guys started talking, it's like a little synchronicity, because this conversation kind of has to do with what I was thinking about. So all this shit's happening out there, right? And venues are closing, and we don't know what the future of live music looks like, and people are losing their jobs. And like, I don't have to tell you, you guys know everything that's going on. But then on the flip side, you're like, it's been a blessing. It's made us be more creative. It's had us get rid of some shit that wasn't working right. And same for us, man. Like, it's made us really tighten up and see the show different, and our intention towards it different. And it would have never gotten like that had all this not happened. We were going to festivals and taking psychedelics all the time and fucking
riding the wave.
Going. And this made us slow down and really take a look at the garden that we grew and start to prune the weeds. And so what I was thinking about is like the balance of things, and how this incredible amount of shit is happening out there. But then on the flip side, everybody I know is having a renaissance within themselves of creativity and understanding and love. And like, there's this huge like heart opening that's happening within humanity that I'm seeing from talking to artists and musicians and authors. And
and you know, have a very unique position right now, because in a time where people aren't getting together, can't get together, we have this opportunity to bring these artists that we're all kind of like in a standstill, and so we're keeping them in the flow, in people's minds and people's hearts. Go back, re-listen to the album, get your new inspired, oh yeah, I forgot they dropped that. It's one of the coolest things that this show has done, where before, like Aaron said, we were like so many shows, and I was like losing my head a little bit. It was all fun and hella good and great. But you play hard, you have to relax hard too. And so I didn't even see the show and all of this stuff that it was potentially doing or growing, or the type of forum that it could become. And now, like Aaron said, pulling back and looking at it personally, my attitude about it was shit, like not all the time. Definitely. It was just like,
you heard it here first, folks.
Yeah, I wasn't as appreciative. I'll say, yeah, I am. I wasn't as appreciative as I was for what we were putting out and how important it was. I didn't see the importance yet. And then you start hearing these people writing in, new people that are listening to our old episodes from 3 years ago. These are 3 years ago experiences, And now the whole point is that it's so awesome to be able to bring you guys, because from 3 years ago, we're talking about how old Deadheads got turned on. And 3 years later, we're talking about how psychedelics has blossomed into our culture. It's spilled into our culture, and it's affecting every type of music, every type of person. Yeah. And it's beautiful. Well, that's that was my sentiment. It's like, it's so cool. Like, how old are you guys, if you don't mind?
Oh, I'm 42.
And I'm 33.
Dang. Okay. So me and you are the same age. And so you guys are definitely not the millennials, but like you see what's going on. You're in the thick of it. You're in the prime of your life, and it's happening right now.
Well, that was my point, is like, there is this balance happening, and there's something really beautiful happening underground right now. There's a really amazing flow of love and creativity that's happening, that's balancing out all that negative bullshit that's going on that we all know about. And
because
go ahead.
On the music tip, I think a lot of that is because the labels and the big corporate people kind of like, they don't know what the fuck to do, man. They're not creative. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they rely on their artists being creative, and then they rely on like having like the leash around the artist's neck, right?
Yes.
And when all this happens, and like, Ticketman and all these people, they can't do that. The artists are the ones being able to tighten their circle and become more creative. And what happens is, like, from at least my opinion is that this shit has completely leveled the playing field. Yes. Where like a very small like indie artist is able to kind of do the exact same things that like a bigger artist is able to do, and the bigger artist is able to do what like the mega artist is able to do. You know what I mean? As far as like the live streams and being creative and like and just switching things up, right? Mm-hmm. Because a guy who's playing a 10,000 cap place, he can't go out, right? Like, so he's not, you know what I mean? So the person who plays a 500 person room is they're equal now, right? They're able to, they have to figure out ways to get in front of their audience. Obviously the audiences are bigger and yada yada, but I guess the point is that I think that this kind of leveled the playing field as far as like giving the artist back a little more power than than they had a year ago.
Yes.
Yeah, and also by forming relationships like this, right?
Yeah,
we can decide to promote each other.
Yeah.
Right? So then we can decide what goes out into people's consciousness instead of them programming us. We're taking back the control of the programming and saying, no, we're going to do something kind. We're going to do something real from love. We're going to build community. We're going to have family. Like, that's what it's about. Taking back that control. I love that, man. That's fucking cool. You know, when all this shit started, man, I ain't gonna lie, it was hard, man. The first few months of this were no joke.
Yeah,
bro.
You guys are in Portland too. You guys had it the most real of the whole of everywhere, right?
Shit.
It was probably nuts.
It's,
like I'm born and raised in Philly, right? But I live like an hour outside of Philly, so I was like nervous for all my friends and like all my old like neighbors and stuff like that. I'd be like calling like, oh, is it? But like even Philly didn't go up like Portland did. You guys, man,
they tripped out.
Turned off. You guys turned all the way.
They
up.
turned up. They did turn up.
Dude, they I just saw today there's another occupied like Chaz zone here in Portland. They decided they barricaded the fucking two blocks of a street, and they ain't letting the cops in again, and shit's just popping off, man. Portland, there's a that keep Portland weird thing. That was like that saying for so long. That was real shit. People are fucking weird up here, man,
and not in the ways that you
ready to hear
expect.
anybody else's shit either. They're like, I'm gonna do me, and you all can fuck off. And this shit has really brought that to the forefront, man. Where are you guys based?
They said Philly, right?
Yeah, like so we're like an hour outside of Philadelphia.
Okay. All right. So with the community that you guys are gathering around you up there, what do you think that the outcome of all of this is going to be for you and that community? Do you think that this is going to serve to make you guys tighter in the end?
I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so. But I would say things here are mostly like everywhere else with like in every other city that's like Corona like has like stricken, right? And hit, right? Like I like there's people with the mentality that, it's ridiculous. And then there's people that I know that have been affected by it, right? And there's people I know that haven't been affected by it, and I hope some people just make sound judgment sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, like the people complaining about right now we have a ban until after Christmas, right? And people are like up in arms about it and stuff like that. But they don't want a lot of people to get more sick and numbers to rise and stuff like that, right? So we should just take care of our neighbors,
Yeah.
I don't want my neighbor to get sick. I don't want to go out to the bar, come home, give something to this man, and he gives it to somebody in his family. Like, not, so I hope so.
All right.
It's it's about being conscious. I mean, few years ago and kind of still to this day, I noticed the Buddha, just the image was so popular, and like yoga started to get popular. And that's, like I said, it's been popular for a long time, but there's like always resurgences, and these images are a peaceful, like, tranquil thing when you look at it. And something that has come out of that culture is people trying to understand and be a little bit more zen and trying to be a little bit more loving, and the whole thing about love your neighbor, and it's about being conscious and being kind. Those things that are big, huge concepts, they're actually really small acts. It's just, and so like you said, just being mindful, everybody does want to go to a bar and light it up with their friends and, cheers and toast. But like you said, if by not doing that, we won't, cause havoc in our whole entire nation, for our neighbors, for our family, for our friends, then that little be kind is just kicking it at home. That's the year we kicked it at home. 2021 was a year.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like I think everybody goes back and forth through the emotions of like this is bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I was on that this morning.
But at the same time, you know what I mean? Like what he said is true. Like we all. I think at this point everybody knows somebody who's caught it, even if they only were good like 2 or 3 days later, which seems to be a lot of the cases. I think we all kind of know somebody who it didn't go that well for.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it's one of the things.
And I'm like, I'm the most uncompliant person in the world, right? Like, I don't like being told what to do by like an authority figure, right? But at the same time, like me not doing what needs to be done, like hurts the economy within our community. It shuts down small businesses. My friend can have a store. Now my friend no longer has a store. Now my friend can't pay rent, right? All because we're choosing to not just follow a little protocol for a time being,
Mm-hmm.
And like we're rebel hippies, right? Like it's in our name. So there's nobody more rebels than us, right? like we say, break rules and spread love. So there's nobody breaking more rules than us. But at the same time, I love my people, man, and I want to see everybody flourish. So if like in a year we have to sit down and kind of reset, which is good. Like, you know, like me and the mother of my child bonded way more than we did in this past year than we have in the past 2 years.
Yeah, homeschooling, we're teachers
like you know, go find some other place to put your energy into that you can flourish with, you know, instead of being complaining and being negative, like this is bullshit. This, you know, find some positive out of it.
You know what, man? When this is over, you guys got to come to Portland. We got to kick it, man. We got to fucking kick it for real. Like.
You guys can run around with all the DMT in the pocket you want.
Yeah. $500 fine. I'm good.
You guys are good, man.
Dang.
That's awesome.
We tell the people out there about Rebel Hippie, man.
Yeah,
Apple was trying to school me on it when we were out on the porch a little while ago.
Yeah, Rebel Hippies came about like when you would talk about something organic that was like just by accident. That's what Rebel Hippies is, man. Like probably I would say probably 6 years ago, something like that. I got an offer to do a rolling paper, like an endorsement deal, and they wanted to do like, and it was gonna be like my name on it, some stupid shit. And I was like, yo, I don't want to do. I think it's corny. I don't want to like. That's super lame. And so I was like, yo, let's just. I was telling the guy who was at the time, he was like helping me get in these sponsorship deals and stuff, and I told him, I said, look, let's see if they'll be down to like just have it be like a name, you know what I mean, it's not lame. And so I always said Rebel Hippies in lyrics before, and so we were like, yeah, let's just call them Rebel Hippies rolling papers. So that's all it really was at first, right? And we were going out on the road, and I bring the rolling papers with us. And then all of a sudden, people started popping up with the logo tattooed on them because people like really attached to the name, and they really like the logo. It's like an anarchy sign and a peace sign together, and like kind of a Ralph Steadman kind of look, you know. And people just kind of really took to it, and it didn't have nothing to do with the rolling paper or art music or anything. They just kind of liked the name, and you know, we always said break rules, spread love. It was always kind of like the what do you call that? Like
slogan.
The slogan. And so people started attaching to it, and then really like it kind of just turned into its own thing. Like we were like, oh, let's drop a t-shirt, and then like we couldn't keep them, you know. And then so when we started making music, we always, every time we would talk to somebody, they'd be like, oh, are you guys reggae? Are you guys hip hop? Is this psychedelic? Like, you know, like what, you know, and we were like, oh no, it's Rebel Hippie music, you know? So then it just kind of became its own thing now, you know? And like, I guess that's the kind of music that we make, you know? I don't want to like put a name or a genre, like stick to it like a genre. Right. We just kind of do what we feel. And it kind of just took off on its own now. And so now what we introduced this thing called the community card. And basically it's 100% free. You just got to go to rebelhippies.com. You basically just put in your name and your address, and we send you a card. It's like it looks like a Visa card. It has a QR code on it. Mm-hmm. And so basically on the QR code, you know, we'll have new music we'll put on there, or sales, or like we'll test out videos before they're out. And the goal is to have other groups and businesses and different brands and stuff like that recognize the card as well. So, you know, for instance, you know, next month, hey, hit the QR code and, you know, get 10% off, you know, this company, whatever like that. So basically we can build with like kind of like what you were saying, like all these independent people are meeting each other. We can kind of support each other. Yeah. And this can kind of be a hub, I guess what you're saying is a place that people can kind of connect.
That's fucking such a great idea.
That is brilliant. I love that idea. And I want to go back to something that you said about the Dead, and you were attracted to their aesthetic, and how that brought you in, and you didn't really know, but that's kind of what happened with you guys. Mm-hmm. Yeah. This aesthetic that attracted people they don't know why. They just liked it. They believed in it. I mean, did you take that into consideration, or did you even think about that?
Yeah, when I was saying before about like part of the reason that really got me diving back into the Dead was that same time. It was that same thing. It was like when the rolling papers came out, because we had like a really bright, there's a rolling pack right here. It's like a really bright looking paper. And when so people started coming to multiple shows and people started having the logo, I don't remember if somebody said, I think it was my buddy Sleep, who's like an old school Deadhead, man. Like this kid grew up in the parking lot, and he like is like a hardcore hip hop dude too. And he was like he was the first guy who ever drove like a long distance to see a show, right? And I remember like seeing him at the bar and being like, "Oh man, thanks for coming out," and him being like, "Yeah, man, I drove 6 hours or something," and I was like blown away. And then he popped up. It was like, I don't know, was it San Francisco or somewhere else? He popped up again, and the same dude, and that's what kind of started making me think about the Dead and the and how it was like that kind of community thing, you know what I mean? I was like, oh man, people are popping up at these shows, and then I started thinking about my cousin, and I was like, wow, you know, and that's what made me kind of go back and revisit. To be honest, that's, you know, the Rebel Hippies thing is what made me kind of go back and start listening to the Dead and really diving down the rabbit hole, like, you know, like I said, about probably 6 years ago.
It is a fucking rabbit hole too, man. That shit don't end. Shit don't end, bro.
And you're never gonna get through it, right? Like that's the other thing about the Dead, man. That, like I always try to explain to everybody, like any other group, right? You can get into their music, and then you listen to all their records. And even if it's somebody who has 25 records, right? You listen to all their records, and you're like, oh man, I listen to this record front and back. But with the Dead, it's like you can never listen to it all, because you're like, oh yeah, you heard that? Well, did you ever hear that from fucking Philly in '89? You know, so it's like an infinite. You're not getting out of that hole, man.
And here's the thing that I always come back to is like, I'll go off and I'll not listen to them for a while. Like I'll get into like listening to Fish or whatever for a while. And then we'll be chilling and I'll put them on and I'll be like, God damn, there's nobody better than this. Like, this is like the best of the best shit every time. And it just, and the other thing that gets me too, Mel asked you about your lyrics, and Hunter's lyrics, they can mean something to you today, and 6 months from now, it's something completely different. And I got 30 years of that shit behind me of like changing with you. How the fuck? And then seeing that thing continuing to grow and become communities and families and friendships, and it's fucking mind blowing, dude.
Yeah, man, they're the best, man. We recorded Electric Lemoade. We recorded the title track in San Francisco at it's called Hyde Street now, but it was formerly Wiley Hyder. So they did American Beauty in the same building. And man, he was talking about heavy boy.
This guy thought he was Jerry Garcia.
What?
It was a fantastic thing to watch. It was
because them walls, man. There's something about that place, man. It just brings up the They had these the microphones was like, he was, oh my god, bro. They had the same microphones, you know what I'm saying? Like we didn't use the same ones they used, but wow.
Whoa.
That was nuts, man. It was nuts. That's the highlight of my, like, I was like, oh man. Like you realize like the songs that were made in here, man. Like, you know, like I'm trying to tell these guys, like, yo, like life-changing shit was made in this room. Yeah.
Why? This is a question I've been asking myself since I was a little kid. Like, why is it music that does that for people? The only other thing that I could think is like people getting saved in church. That's the only other thing that I could think where people like change like that. You know
and it
what
was
I
still
mean?
the music, right? It's still the music at church that probably got them up front.
Yeah, it's wild, man. I don't know what our bodies are frequencies, right?
Yes.
And music is the sound and a vibration, and all around us is things vibrate and make sound, right?
Mm-hmm.
So even if before music became a thing, people would probably sleep next to like a creek and just hear the stream like flow at nighttime, and that sound eases them. I just think sound eases people, or sound can make you rage because there's metal music, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's metal, maybe you get in a mosh pit, you start raging,
Sometimes that eases people,
Yeah,
It's all therapy. It's all therapy,
sound, man. I think sound is a good thing.
Yeah, some people want to listen to the saddest song they can to take them back to a place, and that's what like releases them.
Yeah.
Then some people want to listen to the hardest.
Music's a beautiful thing, man.
Yeah,
it's
man.
Beautiful.
God is sound. There's a picture of Mickey Hart wearing that shirt with a leather football helmet on, goggles and shit back in the day.
So I want to ask both of you guys, and you can answer however long or short, but what's the best thing 2020's taught you?
Oh man, I don't want my kid to go back to school. I think I want to homeschool him. I think that's what 2020 taught me, is that I like my family is like super tight right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I had a baby during this time, and then I have two other small kids. So I have 3 small kids running around the house during this crazy time, and it's just like really brought everybody together, and like just the time spent, man, and just not even, you don't realize like how much time you spend away from home until you're not able to leave your home.
Yeah.
Wow.
Whoa. That's good to hear. That's good to hear you say that. Like you hear so many people saying they want their kids
go back to school,
out of the house and back to school, and it's like, why? You don't like your kids? Is the first thing I think.
Almost never want them to. That's
That's
cool.
For me, I guess it was to make more music, even more music, because like I didn't really know what was going to be the outcome of like Electric Lemonade. Like I didn't know we were going to be in such a good position we were in now, right? So like with the music, I was kind of like, what is am I going to make music for my life? Like, is that like, because that's what I really want to do. Yeah. But like I was on the ropes, like if this is what I'm really gonna do, like is fate just gonna slap me in the face and be like, you're not doing this, bud, And then I think that's what it just taught me, just keep pursuing the music thing, man, and kind of let everything else go, like things that don't matter around that, like my family and my music, just don't put no energy into that.
Whoa. That's, hey man, this is the only time you're ever going to hear me say this, but I got to give it up for 2020 then. I mean, if that's the kind of shit that's coming out of it.
Yeah. Closer families and self-realization and self like betterment.
And somebody was saying that recently too. We talked to, it's like out of destruction, that's when new shit's built. You gotta tear shit down. Yeah. Tear shit down. New shit comes out of it.
But you got 3 little kids running around your house, man. And quarantine, you're a fucking warrior, brother. I'm serious. That's no bullshit.
I got a back porch, and I just go smoke joints when I need to.
Hell yeah! It's always fun when well, I mean, I won't say that. I'm not gonna
fuck. My son's 18. I'm ready to fucking trip the fuck out.
No, Aaron's tripping only because he can't. We have to work outside the house. He works in the home, so he really, really can't leave, And
I haven't left the house in 10 months.
And I'll be like, I'll just pick everything up on the way home, so you don't got to go anywhere. So poor guy goes out maybe once a week. So yeah, it's a little bit different,
That's the only thing that super sucks is that like I think like my 2-year-old doesn't even know what like. My 7-year-old probably doesn't really know what going like out really like remember, you know what I'm saying? Like my 2-year-old doesn't know, you know what I'm saying? Like going to the store, like we went to the farmer's market like 2 weeks ago, and my 2-year-old was just like, whoa, like what the fuck, all these people, you know what I'm saying?
Other fucking people. Wow. We're gonna
so that's the only thing that does suck, for the kids. This is like like as adults, we can kind of find the good in
Yeah.
bad. But for the kids, man, I mean, I guess they don't even know. Like, they don't even know. So it's all good. But I do feel bad on that level. It's like, damn, man, you guys don't know. Like our kids might never know what it's like to, like, when I was a kid, my mom would just like let me go jump on the train and go down the city and like go hang around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
My kids might never be able to do that. That sucks a little bit.
We're you know what, man, the longer this goes on, I remember at the beginning, like the whole we're in this together thing, and it just sounded so cliche, and I was like, whatever, fucking stupid slogan for quarantine. But the longer it goes on, the more I'm realizing that that's the case. We really are, like you were saying, like we have to take care of each other and kind of circle the wagons. And it's really, really cool to talk to you guys and hear what you're doing, man. And just from one brother to another, I fucking hear you guys, man. And the sound you're making is beautiful. And I appreciate it a lot, man.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Can you do me a favor, man? Tell everybody out there where they can find you guys and all that.
Yeah, what's coming up? Where
are you
for
playing?
You guys? Not coming up like that.
Well, we're always working on music. That's the thing that we mostly enjoy to do. We always love just creating with each other. So, I believe December 18th coming up next week. Right? This Friday.
Okay.
This Friday, our new single, Sun Rays No Shade, comes out. Right. On any streaming services that anybody wants to choose from. Right. Whatever platform they use, It'll be on there. That's December 18th. And like I said, we're working on new music. That's always a plus. And you can find us at Space Kamp. That's Space Kamp with a K, 420. That's on all social medias.
Boom.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, man. Yeah. You guys, thank you for taking time with us, brother. And
thank you so much.
Hold on, I had one more thing before you guys go. Sorry, I had to step out. I've been wanting to ask since the beginning because we were talking about the music and everything too, but something else you guys have that's amazing. Your videos, man.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Your videos are mind blowing.
That video quality, true.
The Summer of Love one that like captures kind of like, I mean, it starts off with a lot with the tapes and everything, like the tape trading, and they're all awesome. First of all, is the VW bus? Is that your guys's or is that?
Oh, I wish, man.
Okay, that's what I was. We were wondering that when me and Mel. I was like, I gotta ask them if that's their bus, and I had a feeling we hear that more often than not. It's like, no, that's not our bus in the video.
I wish. I got a VW, but I ain't got that.
Yeah, I don't look like that.
As our good friend, it's called the Sunflower Bus, and he let us hold it down, and we shot Homegrown and Girl Like You the same weekend. So we were able to use the bus, and then Summer of Love, we like basically just called up a bunch of our friends that have like brands, and we found this little parking lot, and we just basically said that was during quarantine. So that was like right when everything kind of like eased up in the summer, and they were like, oh, everything's cool, everything's gonna kind of go back to normal.
Right.
We just threw that together, and we just set up a bunch of tents and had our friends come out, and yeah,
you did a good job on that one. I was saying to Mel,
right
you like captured that feeling. I was like, this must have been like after one of the Canna festivals or something. Like you captured that whole lot thing, the busyness, the fun, the nitrous balloon. I mean, like everything, man. You just keep doing what you guys are doing, man. We love you. The video, you guys are artists, man. We're just really digging it.
And I just love the unique nature of what you're doing, because honestly, that's the kind of music I listen to on my way home from work or to work, or when I'm by myself chilling. That's my kind of music, not when I'm with these guys. And so for you guys to be making more of it is thank you. Like that, it's nurturing, it's uplifting, it's body moving, it's vibey, it's all of it. So I really appreciate you guys taking the time to tell us about what's behind that.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having us. We were really excited when we found out that we were going to be able to talk to you guys.
Hell yeah.
Thank you so much.
Hey, I'm going to stop recording. I want to ask you something off the recording. Okay.
Oh yeah, no worries, man. Thank you.
Ooh. too.
I was gonna say, this cannot be recorded.
See the place
Wow.
Wow.
Cool.
Wow.
That was just a wow.
Yeah.
So
those are
we
some
ended
cool
this
cats.
interview at exactly 4:20. I took a picture to confirm that, but Space Kamp 4:20. We finished their interview at 4:20.
Right at 4:20.
Shut everything
It's
down.
the universe talking.
Speaking of synchronicities,
What a trip.
Yeah, man. So check it out, you guys. If you don't know who they are, you do now. Space Kamp, coming from the heart.
Really?
And coming from the heart,
They
man.
are coming
Like,
from the
The
heart.
city of brotherly love.
That's real shit right there. That to me is, I think if Garcia could be alive today and see stuff like that happening,
Make him smile.
he
ear
would
to
be
ear.
so stoked.
I think he can see that. You just don't see
We
him.
can't see
smiling.
him. Yeah, we can't see him.
Ooh.
Busted.
He's like, I do. Aaron Mill's gonna say it right now. Boom.
Yeah, man. That's
No, but no. Who would have known the effect that
reaching so far into
so
all
many
corners of the multiverse.
Yes, people left and right, generations left and right. Like, dang. In
Well,
ways,
it's dope how their community, they got a great community, obviously, that's surrounding them. That, what it was, Rick the Viking?
yeah, Rob.
Or Rob the Viking. When we were starting to watch the behind the scenes thing,
Oh,
they
yeah,
were
I
talking
saw
about
that.
trying to find somebody, and they talked about that, how they sought him out because they always dug his sound. They told him, it was like, we don't want to sound reggae, we don't want to sound rap, we want to be us and everything. And he pulled it together on that album
Yeah.
to make it sounds
amazing.
to make it sound like Space Kamp, make
You know,
it sound like them with all the little influences sprinkled in there, a little flavor here and
Yeah.
there of everything.
I was certain when I first listened, I'm like, oh, this is cool. Like they're sampling stuff, and then they're gonna rap over it, okay. And then hearing their style and their lyrics, I was like, oh, these guys are fucking rad. But now knowing that that's a live band
yeah.
playing with them, it makes me like them even more. Like,
That's something that's awesome too. That's happening more and more in hip hop and everything.
Yeah,
where
it's
they're
just
going,
blending.
there's maybe a little sampling here and there, but there are more and more live musicians that are touring and in the studio on all these albums.
yeah. And it made me think of Children of Indigo.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would love to see a Children of Indigo
Oh, wow.
Space Kamp show
Wow.
in our basement
Wow.
right now.
Wow. That would be incredible, actually. That bill.
Yeah. Anyway, all right, you guys.
Thanks, guys, for joining us. That
Go
was
follow
really
them
fun.
on socials.
Yeah.
Do that. Go follow
throw them
Space
on.
I'm gonna
Kamp.
listen.
Turn it up.
420.
Turn it up, smoke a joint. If you haven't, these guys
Yeah.
will make you want to smoke after listening to them for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
It just goes hand in hand.
We love you guys. We'll be back next week with more stuff and things. Take care of each other. Smile at a stranger. Do no harm. Take no shit. And hydrate. Safety
That's
third.
right.
Wash your hands. That's a lot of stuff I just said. But you can handle it, right? You think
Yeah, they can handle
think they
it.
can handle it, Mel?
Yep.
Apple?
They've been with us for a while. They can handle it.
Like twisting, turns to mission, turning it's a journey. Wish the word is many problems, but it's a burden. Family needs has been deferred, and hella means been the earth, and alchemy can bring the birth, the melody of a new born. So persistent, so resistant, so insistent, so commitment, so resilient, or haven't you learned it? No simple road. 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 My windshield is shattered as I focus through the spot in the corner that is still intact. The react is both a defense mechanism as well as a fear. We've traveled this road before, so we may think, but it's a tad bit of strange similarities that feed an A equal A complex. The fears of your past do not equal the perplexities of the current road.
Hey listeners,
I want to tell you about the April-May 2023 issue of Relics magazine. Features a Dave Matthews Band cover story with additional articles and interviews with The National, Graham Nash, Wayne Shorter, ALO, Ivan Neville, our friend Eric Krasno and Stanton Moore, Marty Stewart, and much more. Check out the latest version of Relics and subscribe now at relics.com/DMB. Thanks, Relics.
Ever wonder what a punch from Elton John feels like?
Or how you'd cope with having turned down the chance to be in Nirvana?
Or what signal Keith Richards gives when he wants you to get the hell out of his hotel room?
Fans of Too Much Effing Perspective don't have to wonder, because they've heard these exact stories and a jillion others on our podcast. I'm Alex Hoffman, former tour manager for Radiohead.
And I'm musician and comedy writer Alan Keller. On the TMEP show, we get guests like Nancy Wilson from Heart, Jeremiah Freites from the Lumineers, and Modern Family's Julie Bowen to tell us things they may have only shared with their therapist, clergy, or a TMZ stringer.
So join us on Too Much Effing Perspective. That's EFFING Perspective. The only podcast you crank up to 11.